Here are 13 cold wallet tips that I want to share with you because if you don't know them, you could potentially lose a lot of money. How do I know this? Well, I've had a lot of my viewers share some horror stories with me that have ended up in some less favorable results. And if they had a video like this that they could have watched, all of these mistakes could have been avoided. So I made the video. Tip number 1, understand the purpose of a cold wallet. How does it work? Why is it more secure than the alternatives like keeping your crypto on an exchange or in a hot wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet? And all you really need to know is that crypto wallets and cold wallets, they don't actually store any crypto at all. What they do store is your wallet's private key, which is used to access your crypto, which is stored on the blockchain. And the special thing about cold wallets is that it keeps this private key on the physical device, which is offline, versus a hot wallet or a software wallet that keeps your private key stored on the software, which is connected to your internet connected device, such as your phone or computer, making it more susceptible to hacks. Also, cold wallets are self-custodial wallets, meaning you remain in full control of your private key and thus your crypto. A cold wallet is much more secure than a crypto exchange because the crypto exchanges are non-custodial, meaning they actually own your private key and technically they control your crypto. And I know this seems a little far-fetched, but I have a friend who has had thousands of dollars worth of crypto stored on a popular crypto exchange, Coinbase, and he has not been able to access it for about 2 years. Just recently, about a week ago, he was able to regain access to his crypto. But again, he had no access to it, literally couldn't touch it for over 2 years, all because he wasn't using a self-custodial wallet. And more importantly, a cold wallet. Tip number 2, understand that cold wallets are not immune to hacks. A cold wallet can still be hacked. Now, it's very rare that someone actually hacks a physical hardware wallet device. And when hackers have gained access to a hardware wallet, they do need physical access to it so that they can use special tools to hack it. And in the rare occasions where this has happened, obviously you need someone who's really knowledgeable and is able to understand how to hack a hardware wallet. But when this has happened, the hardware wallet manufacturers have released updates to prevent this from happening again in the future. But it's really important to know that you're not immune to hacks just because you're using a hardware wallet. What's more likely to happen is falling for a scam. And that's why my third tip is to educate yourself about the most popular crypto wallet scam, which is a phishing scam. Now, if I had to guess, this isn't an official number, but if I had to guess, 99% of crypto wallet hacks are not hacks at all. It's people falling victim to phishing scams. So it's not the hardware wallet's fault. It's actually your fault. The reason why this scam is so effective is because scammers attack you from all angles. Social media, email, text messages, phone calls. Literally, they're coming at you from everywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, I would never fall for this. Yeah. That's what they all say. Usually the scam operates in 2 ways. Firstly, a scammer will reach out to you. Of course, you won't know they're a scammer unless you have gone through this before or you're aware of the scam, and they will use fear tactics such as your crypto account is closing or there's an issue with your hardware wallet and you need to confirm your account by going to this website and entering your seed phrase. And really all they're trying to do is make you freak out so that your judgment is impaired and you do the one thing that you're taught not to do, which is enter your seed phrase. Secondly, a more deceptive method involves the scammers directing you to a phishing website, which this could be a popular website or rather modeled after a popular website, whether that's like a crypto exchange or a decentralized exchange. And then they have you connect your wallet and sign a transaction. And when you sign this transaction with your wallet, what you're actually doing is signing approval for the scammer to access your wallet and all of your funds. And then it's pretty much their wallet at that point, and they can do whatever they want with your crypto. Usually they send it to their own wallet and then cash out. Fortunately, this can be avoided, especially if you are aware of this scam and you just don't click on random links and you don't enter your seed phrase anywhere online. But there is another risk that a lot of people don't think of before they even get a hardware wallet, which happens to be my 4th tip, and that is to purchase your cold wallet directly from the manufacturer. Buying a cold wallet from a third-party supplier, whether that be an influencer's website or from Amazon, is a huge risk because you could end up buying a fake device or one that's modified so that it's already compromised before you even receive it. Then you go and you load up your crypto on it, and basically the seller's just waiting to steal your crypto. Now, there are still risks even if you buy an authentic wallet from a trusted website like Amazon. You could end up receiving an older model that maybe the company doesn't support anymore, or you could actually get a worse price because a lot of these wallet manufacturers actually offer discount codes for influencers to give out to their viewers, sort of as a value add. And that said, I do have a discount code for nearly every single hardware wallet on the market, which I'll leave in the description of this video. So if you do find a hardware wallet that you want, you can use my discount code and save some money. But ultimately, you're getting the best deal and the most trusted product by buying directly from the manufacturer's website. But before you buy a cold wallet, make sure you understand tip number 5, how to choose the best cold wallet for you. Now, most cold wallets, they all do the same thing. They securely store your private key, which keeps your crypto safe. So here are the things that I look for in my cold wallet when I'm buying one. First, check to see that it supports the crypto that you want to hold. If it doesn't support the crypto you hold, then you can quickly determine that is not the wallet for you because it pretty much makes it unusable. Now, where can you check this? Almost every wallet manufacturer will have a coin support list on their website. So just go to the website of whatever wallet you are considering getting and go to that coin support list. And usually you can search whatever coins you want just to make sure that it supports it. The next thing I look at is user friendliness. Now, if a wallet is going to be too difficult to use, especially if you're someone who is not very tech savvy, then that's probably not the wallet for you. Now, this is easier said than done because obviously if you don't have the wallet, how are you supposed to test if it's user friendly or not? So the best option for this, in my experience, is to go to YouTube and watch someone use the wallet, watch someone set it up, do transactions and interact with it. And from that, you can quickly determine if that wallet is going to be simple enough for you. Third is security. Now, the main security features that I look for in my cold wallet is that it supports a 12 or 24 word seed phrase, which most cold wallets do. Second is a secure element chip. This is the same kind of chip that is used in bank cards and electronic passports to store sensitive data. In the case of your hardware wallet, it's used to protect your private key and sometimes your user-generated PIN, which is another thing that I look for in hardware wallets, either a user-generated PIN or passcode, which keeps someone else out of your wallet. And then there are some other security features that are worth looking into, but aren't, essential, I guess. One is a passphrase or a hidden wallet, and the other is Shamir backup, which are just different methods for creating a more secure seed phrase. And lastly is cost. Does it fit your budget? You don't have to spend a fortune to get a secure hardware wallet. Which leads me to tip number 6. Expensive doesn't mean more secure or a better wallet. There are plenty of hardware wallets on the market that are under $100, and in my experience, they're all just as good as the more expensive options that are anywhere from $200 to even $400. So really what you're paying for is brand, which I guess you could say reputation, something like Ledger or the Engrave Zero, which is nearly $400, is just known to be a more premium wallet, but it doesn't actually mean that it is a more secure device. Sure, it has some fancy features like a touchscreen and maybe some different security features that other wallets don't have, but really you can get away with the security features that I previously mentioned and have a really secure device that is pretty much unhackable. But even the most secure cold wallet won't keep your crypto safe if you don't know tip number 7, which is learn how to store your seed phrase with longevity in mind. Now, one thing to note is that your seed phrase is not attached to the physical wallet. So if you lose your hardware wallet or it breaks, your crypto is still okay, assuming you still have your seed phrase. And that's why it's so important to learn how to store it safely. So how do you store it safely? Well, most people, they'll create a new wallet and they'll write down their seed phrase on a sheet of paper, and then they'll take that sheet of paper and store it in an at-home safe or maybe a safety deposit box or bury it in their backyard, which is it's a good step in the right direction, but paper degrades over time and it's just really not the best solution. Now, a better solution is to get a metal seed phrase plate. Now, this one right here, it's solid stainless steel. It's waterproof, fireproof, and corrosion resistant. So that way, if I spill my coffee on it or my dog gets a hold of it, it's not going to get destroyed. I'll leave a link to this exact seed phrase plate in the description of my video. There are plenty of them. You can look them up on Amazon as well. But this one, in my experience, has been the best plate just because it's super thick. I also have a discount code so you can save a lot of money on this exact one if you want something like that. Tip number 8, always test your seed phrase when you initially generate it. So you get your new hardware wallet, you create a new wallet with a new seed phrase, and you want to test that. Because imagine if you send crypto to your wallet, but you wrote down your seed phrase wrong. And let's say you reset your wallet and you go to import your seed phrase that has your crypto on it. but the seed phrase you wrote down is the wrong seed phrase. Well, guess what? You lose access to your crypto forever. Now, some hardware wallets will have you re-enter your seed phrase after you initially generate it, which if it has you entered the entire seed phrase and, confirms that you entered it correctly, you're good to go. That's testing your seed phrase. But other hardware wallets will only have you enter, 4 of 12 or 8 of the 24 words, which you could still mess up if that's how your wallet is. I had this personally happen to me. I generated a 24-word seed phrase. I entered, it was like 8 or 10 of the words in that phrase. And it was like, okay, you're good to go. Then I reset my wallet and I went to import that seed phrase again because I was testing it. And guess what? It didn't work because I had wrote one of the words down incorrectly, or rather in the incorrect order. Now, imagine if I had sent crypto to that wallet, I literally would have lost all that crypto. Something else you should test, which is tip number 9, test small transactions first. Sending crypto is really scary. Not because it's hard, but because if you make one simple mistake, your crypto is gone forever. If you send your crypto to the wrong address, say goodbye to your crypto. So let's say you set up a new wallet, and this is especially true if you're new to hardware wallets or just crypto wallets in general. You should send a small test amount. Say you're sending like $20 worth of Bitcoin, send that $20 first before you send your full amount. This will cost a little extra money because you'll have to pay for 2 transactions instead of just one. But it's worth knowing that you're sending crypto the right way to the right wallet using the right network versus sending all your crypto to the wrong wallet address or the wrong network and losing all of it. So it's definitely worth doing a small test transaction and paying for those transaction fees. This next tip is one of the most important tips on this list, and it's how I've kept my crypto safe over the years and have never been hacked, and that is to use a dedicated cold storage wallet. Now, a lot of people get their hardware wallet and they send crypto to it, but they continue to use it like a hot wallet or like a crypto exchange. So they're connecting it to random websites and trading crypto on it, which you can do with a hardware wallet, but not if you're storing all of your crypto on that wallet, because as we know, hardware wallets are still prone to phishing attacks. So if you have all your crypto stored on one device, which you're also using to connect to these random websites, you are still risking losing all of your crypto to a phishing scam. So you need to have separate wallets. One is a dedicated cold storage wallet that you only send and receive crypto with, and the other wallet, you could use the same wallet if you wanted to, but you'd have to use 2 different seed phrases. So it's just easier to get a completely separate device. But the other one is the one that you can use to trade, so you can have enough crypto on there for your transactions. But you don't want to keep all your crypto stored on that one transaction device. You want to have a dedicated cold storage wallet so that your crypto remains safe. But a dedicated cold wallet is just one aspect of a comprehensive risk management strategy. Now, another thing you want to do is diversify your crypto, which I kind of touched on, but basically don't put all your eggs in one basket. You should be storing your crypto on different wallets. Again, the most important thing is to have a dedicated cold storage wallet, but you don't have to keep all your crypto on one device or one seed phrase. That way, if you do fall victim to a scam and you lose your crypto, you're not losing all of your crypto. So definitely diversify your crypto holdings. Next tip, you should be regularly auditing your cold wallet. This will help you detect any unauthorized transactions or maybe any software updates that need to happen. So this can help you have a little more time in case you notice something funky going on to get your crypto out of your wallet, or if you just need to update your wallet, you'll notice that once you sign on. Now, regularly, I would say is, once a month, maybe once a week if possible, but at least once a month, you can just sign into your wallet and check your portfolio. That's one simple way to check if there's any fishy activity. Or if you know how to read the blockchain using a blockchain explorer, such as Etherscan for Ethereum, you can just put in your wallet address into the Explorer, and that's going to show you all your transactions. So from there, you could see if any transactions that you didn't authorize were made, and you can also view your entire portfolio for that specific network at least. Next tip, and arguably the most important tip on this list, is to do your own research. Don't take my word or the word of some other influencer online. You need to come to your own conclusions, form your own opinions, especially if you're curious about something. Put in the time and effort to do your own research. Now, of course, I do my best to share everything that I learn with you and be as accurate as possible, but I'm not perfect. No one is. That said, if you are looking for some of my favorite cold wallets, you can check out 5 of my favorite ones in this next video right here. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.